So you said you mist it with
Apple cider vinegar.
every couple hours?
Every couple hours.
And you do that on on yours too?
Yeah.
So what do you, go ahead. So do you do anything significantly different with like a pork butt than you would do with a brisket?
Pork butts don't need to be rotated as much. They don't take quite as long to cook.
Right.
I use a red rub as opposed to the salt and pepper based rub for the pork. And I don't use as much rub on pork.
Okay.
I wait until the pork is cooked and I'm serving it, and then I'll sprinkle rub on the cooked.
Okay.
Yeah. Come
So-
to one of my events and you'll see the way the whole thing works.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
So when you say red rub, is that
Paprika based.
paprika based?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, paprika. The reason why people use paprika is because it acts as a carrier for all of the other ingredients.
Okay.
Yeah, it helps them all. Color's really nice.
So smoked or regular paprika?
I wouldn't use smoked paprika because I think smoke should come from the wood and
Makes
fire.
sense, yeah.
So, I mean, if you're having to cook something in an oven at home and you want that flavor, then yeah.
So do you use thermometers in any way inside your meat?
I do. Sometimes I just want to see where it is. But toward the end, temperatures don't mean a thing. You just got to feel it. You have to feel it. And that takes a lot of practice. Same thing with ribs. I've got a friend, he uses a thermometer with his ribs, and I'm like, pick it up.
That's right.
Is that tender and it's starting to crack? It's about there.
Okay. So it's just look and feel for you, and you know when it's done and about how long it's going to take.
It's done.
Yeah.
And there are no two that cook the same way.
Right.
Because it's from two different animals.
Are you still hungry?
Have some more.
Fill it up, buddy. Where do you get your meat from?
I order from a wholesale company. Like where you get food stuff.
Do you buy Prime or do you buy
Prime.
Okay.
Yeah. I like it.
Just no substitute for it?
You can cook choice. Upper 2/3 choice, and it's delicious. But you got to really watch it. I mean, it's not as forgiving as a prime brisket.
You ever bother with a Wagyu?
That's a little too spongy, you know? And you spend a lot of money on a piece of meat, and the yield is so much smaller.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking 30% by the time you're done. Yeah. And it's almost too fatty and too spongy. I like when I eat meat, I want it to have some texture.
Right.
And a lot of that stuff just doesn't have. It's like eating a marshmallow that tastes kind of like meat. I just don't. I've never really been big on that.
Do you have a recommendation as far as so many minutes per pound?
No, because every piece of meat cooks differently.
Okay.
I mean,
As soon as it opens up, send them an email within 30 seconds.
and it's the time of year. And the temperature's outside. Yeah. So, I mean, if it takes me on average
So when we were there, they just
10 hours to cook a piece of meat that weighs 10 pounds,
picked up their barbecue.
okay, then you're looking at an hour per pound.
Right.
Unless that piece of meat just takes longer for some reason. And it doesn't matter how big it is. I've had all different sizes of briskets in a pit before, and sometimes the ones that come off last are small.
They picked up.
Yeah,
You never know.
you never know.
It's just all.
The fat content has a lot to do with
Right.
it too, because when that fat starts getting hot, it's cooking.
Exactly.
It's oil, you know.
Yeah.
So if it's a less fatty piece of meat, it might take a little bit longer to cook.
Describe again what you're looking for before you take it off.
I look at the color